Jack, would you do me a favor and hop in my chair again real quick? Just do another focus check here. All right, back to your chair.
Sweet.
I do this trick I learned when I was a kid. So back when you first start drinking as a teenager, it's all about how much you can drink as fast as you can drink. So if you pop underneath the lip where the mouth opening is and crease it, then you can chug the entire beer can like super fast.
Why does that make a difference? The way it flows into your mouth?
Yeah, so it's not hitting that dip and like glugging every sip, right? So it's like glug glug or just force it down.
What's the name of the show? I was once at a bar, and I'm so bad about accidentally drinking people's beers, like in real life. I was sitting at a bar once, I was just talking to this stranger. I was like pretty drunk, and we were just talking. I was like, oh yeah. And I just like started drinking this beer, and he just like looks at me and he goes, that's my beer. And I was like, I don't even have a beer. You know what I mean? I reached for mine and grabbed his. Like I just like actively drank his beer. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Let me buy you a shot, right? And I was like, 2 more beers, 2 shots. Bartender brings them over, shots, beers. We take our shots. He's like, that'll be like $32 or whatever. And I go, I don't have my wallet. And the guy had to buy the drinks. So he went for like losing his beer and then also having to buy 4
more drinks. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I finished that conversation real quick. Oh, I'm so sorry. Get out of here. Yeah, I had one really bad night and drunk, like went to a party or whatever, and like, just like there was no more alcohol and none of the girls wanted to sleep with me, so I just went around drinking Fallen Soldier, which is like, oh, there's a half fee, there's a quarter left in this one, that's a cigarette butt, spit it out, next.
Like you're 13 years old at a wedding reception again?
I didn't start drinking until... No, yeah, for sure I did. Yeah. I was going to say until I was like 16, 17, thinking that was like so old. And I was like, no, I did that a lot actually. Someone left the fucking eggnog vodka out or the eggnog rum out. Take advantage. I've been there.
I'm trying to curb my drinking. I'll have these really good stints. I'll go a week and then I'll just go like, oh, I can have 1 beer because I'm fine off 1 beer. Mm-hmm. And I normally am, but I won't stop at 1 beer. Yeah. Like, well, now the floodgates are open. Now, you know what? Now it's time to socialize. Like,
yeah. When I first quit drinking, I was like setting all these guidelines for myself, where I was like, only weddings. That was like the first one. Where I was like, I'm gonna go to a wedding. Gotta have some drinks, right? And then I did that like once. I went to it once or twice, and it was successful. I didn't keep drinking after the wedding. But then like one wedding I went to, and then the next day I had a show, and I had a beer, and I was like, it's still kind of the weekend of the wedding. Like I'm still kind of like this is part of the wedding, Yeah. And that was like one of the last drinks I had, because I was like, this is how it works. Like even when I used to drink a lot, it was always like, I'm gonna have 1 beer tonight, and there was like no such thing. And as soon as you start like for me anyway, as soon as I started making all these like rules and guidelines for myself, I'm like, I gotta just quit all together, because it's just so much an easier life to not have to like think about any of that stuff. Where I'm like, oh no, there's no rules. It's just like a zeroed out policy, and it was just like so much easier to like live my like life after that, without all of that fog.
You're not trying to make calculations on what's the right or the wrong way or what's the limit. You're just like, how about I just save money altogether? And
for sure.
My liver.
Yeah, exactly. It's been pretty chill ever since.
Did you just cold turkey it? Did you just like?
Well, no, it was like I did a sober January, and then I like drunk and drive, like didn't get caught or anything, and it was like not that drunk, but definitely like had drinks and drove home after like a month of being sober, and was like, man, this is so stupid. You know what I mean? Like I have a kid, I have a comedy career that I'm pursuing, it's like, why bother adding any more risk to my life than I need to? Yeah. And I didn't feel so like in need of like a program or anything like that. I was like felt like lucky that I was like, I might be able to actually just quit this all by myself. And then I did. I was like, but I'm not gonna go cold turkey. I'll still drink at weddings or whatever. So I made like kind of guidelines, or like a really important show, or like special occasions essentially. So I drink on like my birthday and like a big show, or like and weddings and stuff like that, like handful of times throughout the year. And pretty much every time was like, did I really even love that? Like, was that great? And so I pretty much just quit. It's been like 5 years since I've had a drink now.
Nice. I hate being drunk. I think it's the worst feeling in the world. If I get drunk, it's by accident.
Is it the being drunk or the after?
Both.
Yeah.
I'm just barely drink at all, and I've just never. At my heart, I'm a hedonist, and I like to maintain feeling good for as long as I can, and not trade tomorrow's good for now. And so, like, I would rather feel good a couple days from now and not have to deal with a hangover or the repercussions of drinking.
Yeah.
Yep, totally. That's the kind of
arrest record.
Cocaine, though, I'll trade tomorrow's happiness.
So that was the other night when I was like, okay, when the cocaine came out, it's usually when I'm like, I walk away. Because I'm like, it was one of those drugs, like, in college, I had a buddy that slanged, and I was like...
I believe it's slung.
I was trying to make a rhyme, and then I lost it. He slanged the cocaine, right?
Oh.
Yeah. But
Sure.
I was like, no, I'm afraid, like, it's one of those things, I might like it too much. I don't want to touch it, kind of a thing.
Drugs and like that were I was so into weed so quickly, like that I was like, I was scared of every drug because I was like, if weed's any sign of how drugs are going to be with me, I'll fucking commit every day. Like, as soon as I started smoking weed, I was pretty much smoking weed every day. Yeah. So I was like, if I do mushrooms, I'll start doing mushrooms every day. If I do cocaine, I'll start doing cocaine every day. And then in my 20s, when I started experimenting with drugs, at mushrooms, you're like, I don't want to be doing any kind of mushrooms for quite a while. Like, I'm so glad I survived that adventure. And then cocaine, I never really got into.
Yeah.
I had like a few runs, nights or whatever, where I would like do a decent amount, and the come down was always like so much worse than the best part of the high that I was like, I never found that much interest in it.
I did my senior like capstone film. I had family coming to town that I hadn't seen forever. I had like booked this new digital art complex at the university here. They had never done. It was a brand new building, first student film ever to premiere there. My buddies made wine. Like, it was this huge event, and the film wasn't finished yet. So that's why I knocked on my buddy's door. I was like, all right, tonight, hook me up. And I just did an all-night bender, edited all through the night, all through till like 6 p.m. the next day. And I've got my buddies stalling at the theater, like, just play one more song, I'll be right there. I've got it, I'm burning the DVD right now. So I was like, all right, in a moment, I'll use it, like actually use it. But then when it came to like party time and I would play with it, I'd be like, oh yeah, no, this is not right. I could very easily get way too into this and ruin my finances first and then my livelihood afterwards.
And so you never did?
For the most part, no.
But you still dabble every now and then.
Like the other night, when after a few drinks, when you're like, when the Coke comes on, you're like,
this is too dangerous. I better only do this 4 to 15 times a year.
That's my clue of like, oh, I've had enough to drink because the Coke sounds good right now. Knowing it's 2 a.m, you're at a seedy bar.
I quit smoking cigarettes, and that was like the biggest accomplishment of my life, was getting off of nicotine. And huge. A big part of not drinking for me was that like every time I had relapsed and had a cigarette, and when I would relapse, I'd be back for 6 months, like smoking a pack a day, like every single time. So, but when I stopped drinking, I never relapsed again. And so half of not drinking for me is that I'll never smoke a cigarette again. And to me, that was like the worst, addiction I've ever had, without a doubt.
My dad's he quit drinking cold turkey. He had like this he'd married my mom. My older brother.
Your dad did?
Well, my older brother and I came with the package already. And then they had my little brother. And he was a rock and roller. He was played like outlaw country and all the rodeos and stuff. Like, he would party pretty good. And I remember being a kid, like some of the parties they would have were super fucking fun. When he realized one day, is like, he quit his job because it was a shit job. And he came home and he's like, I have a whole family. I have all this shit going on. And he just quit that day, cold turkey.
Wow.
Never drank more Pepsi than anyone else after that. Like, that guy drank so much Pepsi. But for years,
his liver was happy, his teeth were not.
The struggle with nicotine. He would quit smoking and chew more. He would quit chewing and smoke more. And then
nicotine
just does both. And to this day, he's like, don't tell your mom I'm out here in the garage. I was like, Mom knows.
I read The Easy Way to Stop Smoking. That's how I quit, the book.
All right, that's what what's her face?
It's worked for a lot of Who's It's and What's Her Faces.
No, did Nikki Glaser? Did she talk about that? I don't know if she was a smoker, but the same author
she did. Yeah, I think she did.
Had one that helped her quit drinking.
Yeah, there's an easy way to stop drinking. Yeah. It's great. It worked for me. It worked for my dad. Like almost ever. It's the only thing I know that has like actually worked for so many people. That's not like a supplement.
And what do they tell you in it?
Dude, it's all psychological. I listened to the audiobook, and there's a British guy who does the the
Information
reading.
is so much easier
And there's
to
something
take when
about a
it's
British guy
Yeah.
telling you you're full of shit that where you're like, yeah. You know, he's like, do you really like that feeling? Like, the feeling of the smoke going into your mouth. Like, imagine it. Like if it were anything other than nicotine, would you welcome the smoke? Like, it's
Well,
so
crack
good.
smoke's
And then
pretty
you're
okay.
just like, yeah. And it tells you to smoke throughout the whole book. So that's the other part where it's like, it's not intimidating because it's like, no, go ahead, have another one. Like, feel that feeling of the smelly toxins running through your nostrils, you know? And the whole time you're just like, man, this guy's fucking right. I'm full of shit. I don't like smoking. I'm addicted to nicotine. And once you get excited about the idea of being nicotine free, it makes it easy. So instead of being like, oh no, I'm missing out on something, you're like looking forward to like never feeling those pangs again. Yeah. And that just like made it easy. It was like a joy to like quit smoking. The relapses were not fun.
It's like the uncle that just sticks you in the closet and like smoke all the cigarettes until they're gone.
It kind of, yeah. And they tell you like pick your last cigarette at the end. They're like, and put it out and just be like, how good is that going to feel to put out like your final cigarette and be like so committed to never again, not a puff, no nicotine supplements. Like it's a nicotine addiction, not a cigarette addiction. Yeah. And so like just be done with it forever.
I've never smoked
fulfilling.
a cigarette.
Good for you. But you're addicted to nicotine now. You do snooze.
I'm just about to say, I don't think I have an addictive personality. However, I am double banging 9 nicotine pouches. I could quit any. I like it, but see, the problem too is that like I don't even get like the head juice anymore, and so like
it's a fulfillment of the addiction.
So I'll wait like 10, 12 hours to do it just so I get that little lightheadedness. Like I'll do it, but yeah, that's why I can do cocaine responsibly. Like I did a bunch of blow with some other comics recently. We went to go watch.
Their names were.
We went to go watch midget wrestling, and I was like, this is the time to do a bunch of cocaine in my shitty minivan in the parking lot of this Roadhouse bar where we're gonna watch midgets fight. Like,
yeah. I would probably do cocaine for that.
You got it. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Well, isn't nicotine supposed to get all the COVID microchips out of you too?
Yes.
See, microchips,
Yeah.
isn't that the...
What really did it for me on...
Have you tried the COVID microchips though? Because they'll fuck you up. It's like fun. Like if you're gonna go to what I would call a little person,
Look,
consensual fighting arena.
They made us chant midget. They were very on the midget term. They made the whole audience chant midget, midget.
It was total masochists. Like, please give it to us.
But I know many a little person who thinks I'm condescending to them by not saying midget. So I totally get it. But
this feels like little person is more degrading. Like,
Yeah.
you're like a real person, but littler.
for sure. When I worked in New York and I was a nanny, everyone would be like, Manny, and I would not like that.
Oh, yeah.
I think Manny sounds like less masculine somehow than nanny. So I was like, please just call me like a
No,
baby
I'm a
sitter.
nan.
Like I don't want to be a
I'm a nan-I.
yeah.
I'm a nano.
Yeah. Like nobody ever refers to a manny and then also calls them a man. So I was like, just call me a babysitter or a nanny.
And yet it's not a manny bun. It's just a man bun.
Yeah.
Those are making a comeback in Seattle. I've seen quite a few man buns kicking around.
They are, man. And I gotta check myself because I'm like, am I just jealous because
I don't have enough hair.
those
to
guys
do
still
it.
pull chicks, man. It's all the yoga and the tantra and they know all the chakras, and so women's like.
But they also probably have money too, right? Like,
Yeah.
There's plenty of guys who are short, poor, man bun having losers who are pulling nothing. So I don't know if it's the man bun that's pulling it in or it's the car.
No, it's
the
everything
career.
else they got that they don't care that they have a man bun, and that's the confidence. of that.
Yeah, that's
Right?
true.
It's the Cybertruck with the coexist sticker on the back.
Of haircuts.
Yeah.
I'm bald. I wish I could grow hair and have a man. I would do anything. I would do any haircut.
Yeah.
All the ones I used to laugh at and make fun of, I would welcome them over being bald. Like any single one of them.
Last Thanksgiving.
Mullet, man bun, afro. I don't care if I'm cultural appropriating. It's better than bald.
I can see with an orange afro.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Gingro.
Last Thanksgiving, I walked to the house and my brothers were just like, "Yes, Levi, you're finally balding too." They were so excited for my hair to start thinning.
Are they full bald guys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, older brother not so much, but it's noticeable. It gets wispy up here first.
Oh sure.
And I knew eventually I'd become my Uncle Johnny. I'd just have the horseshoe.
It's a respectable look.
Yeah.
It's wise. Commanding.
I bald, but I keep it pretty tight around the sides. The people who grow out the sides, like a Larry David or whatever,
Right.
I have so much respect for that. Like, cause that's a real fuck you bald. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm fucking bald. No hiding it. In fact, I'm embracing it. Like, I'm carving it out and like showcasing. I'm gonna frame the baldness.
Right.
Like,
Or like Jesse Ventura, long-haired, wispy bald, but it's like
my dad's bald with a ponytail. It's like,
you know you're still on
let's
TV,
go.
right? Like you can at least comb it.
Yeah. No, I'm hat bald. I'll be hat bald for the rest of my days.
I'm not good with hats. My head's too small. They always fit like huge. I look like a train engineer.
I've been putting a lot of thought into unapologetic wig wearing.
Okay. Yeah.
Like just straight up like every day a different one, like real drag style.
Why
You know what I
not?
mean? And just like, fuck it, I wear wigs. Like, oh, like a hat. Like today I wear this one, today I wear that one.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's the future.
Yeah.
And until guys with hair also adopt it, as soon as that happens, then people won't care about being bald anymore, and then it
Well,
will.
syphilis needs to make a big resurgence. Then the wigs will come back.
Syphilis causes hair loss?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
That's
know
why
that.
in like all those famous, like all those old British dudes with the big wigs and everything, everybody had syphilis.
I didn't know
And
that.
so-
That's why they
yeah.
wore powdered wigs, because
Yeah.
they're all sift out?
Yeah.
Well, exciting news for you then, Jack, because being in Medford this weekend, it's all in the news. Like HIV and syphilis are rampant right now.
I saw a billboard that on the way down here that said, HIV is not just a big city problem. I was like, oh, what's going on down here?
I mean, that sucks for all those people, but it is kind of good news for the future of wigs. Is that kind of what you're saying? The wig industry might actually have a shot here.
Like I do digital marketing, so if we just geolocate and target wigs to specific areas where syphilis is resurgent.
You have syphilis and no health insurance, but a wig's only $300.
That's an expensive wig. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's the future.
Yeah.
Unapologetic wigs. I thought about what were you going to say?
No, go for it.
I was just going to say, I thought about starting a wig company where the wigs would be like made of feathers and it would like look kind of like hair, but they would be feathers, so it'd be like almost cooler than hair. And then that way people would prefer like the feather wigs to their real hair. And then basically, I just want to put Hims out of business. I think Rogaine and Hims and all these companies are fucking predatory and toxic, and they're fucking shoving medication down the throats of all these poor, fucking
Well, yeah, like
sad bald
20-year-olds
guys.
using boner pills.
That's
like,
what I'm
on a
talking
regular,
about.
and
Yeah, it's like fucking just wear a wig. Like, it's not that bad.
We've had hair forever. Time to upgrade to fur, feathers.
Yeah, fur and feathers.
So is it, instead of every strand of hair is a feather, it's like just a full.
Yeah, like if you put like a peacock feather or something, like from like mohawks down, it looks sick.
I was thinking it's true peacocking.
Yeah. Yes.
Full on.
You get it. You are a digital marketer. Dude, we're starting a company.
Well, that's the whole point of this podcast.
Now we got to start a peacock farm.
It's like,
yeah. You're thinking ahead. This is like big. You're getting real industrious. I was just gonna go steal them.
Got to control the supply line of peacock feathers.
Whatever people would prefer to hair. Hair has to become like boring. Like, oh, you rock your OG hair. Like, what a loser. Like that's where we need to go with it. Anyways, artists.
so back to what you're actually succeeding at.
Am
Somewhat. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard of you.
Okay, good.
How long ago did you start doing comedy, stand up? Like,
Well, technically, I started. I'm 40 now.
All right.
And I started when I was 21.
okay.
Like October of 2004, 5.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Where were you at then?
I was in Seattle. I was living in Everett, and I started at Giggles Comedy Club in Seattle, which then turned into a strip club called Jiggles.
Nice. They just had to change one letter on the side.
They didn't change it though
just
because
pronounced it different?
No, yeah, because it was a cursive G. So they're like, who knows the difference between a cursive G and a cursive J? Fucking nobody. That's who. It says Jiggles.
You just put an umlaut over it.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually brilliant.
Exactly.
Yeah. When did you start doing comedy, Jack?
When I was 31.
Okay.
Yeah, in Maine.
In Maine. Beautiful. All right, that's it. Thanks, Joe. Well, how about, so what, when you first started, was it just like an open mic thing? Like, I was going to check this out.
Yep, for sure. I remember living down the street from Giggles. I had just moved to Seattle after film school in Vancouver. And I remember driving past it and being like, oh yeah, stand-up comedy, that's something I'm supposed to do. Like, actually having this thought like, that's right, I'm supposed to be doing stand-up. And I was like, it was like a magic shop or something. Like the comedy clubs, at least back then, they felt like, it reminded me of like a skate shop, because everyone was like speaking a secret language. There were all these like cool kids, you knew that they were like kind of more involved or in charge. And then, you know, and then the showroom where all the magic happened or whatever, which seemed like kind of like the skate park or whatever. So it, like that connection, it reminded me of like this subculture that I really was attracted to in skateboarding.
Yeah.
So as soon as I went to like my first open mic and watched, I didn't sign up, but I watched and I was like, oh, I'm not going to be the worst one. So
Right.
I'm going to sign up.
That's all
Yeah,
it is.
I'm going to sign up.
As long as
And
there's
then
someone
next
worse
week
than
I
you.
signed up and I had a good set. At least I brought friends or whatever and I got laughs, and then I bombed for a year.
Yeah. I feel like my very first time was awesome. It was great because all your friends show up and they're just excited. And you're excited. You've been prepping for this forever. And the second time you have all this confidence and you fucking bomb. Like I've seen it with so many other people too. There's like, oh, yeah, I'm so great now. And then there's like, what happened? You're like, well,
I'll do it in a weekend. I'll still do it. Like, you ever do that Friday early show and then you're like, man, wait till this Friday late show gets a load of this heat, and then they fucking, you bring that same early show energy and they're just like, this is too much, buddy. Like, they just shut down. They're like, oh man, this reminds me of 20 years ago when I started. I've learned nothing.
when did you decide to dig in and like really get serious about it?
But honestly, like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was like
when you-
fucking almost 15 years in at that point, and I was like, maybe now's the time to like take this seriously or try.
You're like, no one's buying skate videos on VHS anymore. I've got to
That's
figure
what,
out.
that was my current hustle, was selling stolen Zoomies VHSs to skate park kids. Yeah, it is not an industry that did not hold up, boy, let me tell you.
The skate clip NFT market didn't take off.
Right, exactly.
Yet. That's another brilliant idea. It's coming
The
back.
original
It's
NFC,
gonna be
the
an
skate
NFT
clip.
resurgence.
So anyways, it's a long story, but I had a kid and I moved. I quit comedy. I was doing real estate full time. And then I got into the Seattle International Comedy Contest and did pretty well. And so I was like, man, I should take comedy seriously. Like, it was the first time I'd ever gotten I'd never been in a festival or contest or not, in like, whatever, almost 15 years at that point of like doing stand-up. 10 years in New York, like I'd never ever done a contest, done a festival, gotten any kind of official nod from show business, no managers or agents interested, like literally nothing. Like had ever moved. The needle had never moved. So that was the first time I watched the needle move. So I was like, man, like if in 10 years I didn't take advantage of this, I'm gonna look back and fucking hate myself. So I was like, this is the first time I've ever had an opportunity. I'm going to take full advantage of it. And my wife was like, no.
She's like, you guys realize people make money in real estate, right?
I was like, she's like, you've been trying this for 15 years. Now it's going to work? She's like, you're an idiot. Everyone in my family and life was very much of that same opinion. So it was a lot of negotiating, and I had to get sober and show that I actually had what it takes to do the other stuff it takes to succeed as an artist, which is not outside of talent, which I never did any of, which is why I never moved to the needles, because I never did any of the like homework, you know what I mean? Like with building the website or sending the emails and having healthy habits that are helping move you toward like goals that you've set.
Yeah.
All of that kind of stuff is when I started having success, any kind of success, making any kind of money in stand-up, any of that, it all came from stuff that was removed from just my ability as a comic.
Right. That's the whole business side of it, that it's so difficult for artists, entertainers, like to really realize either just do it, even if they know it needs to be done. Like it's not in their mindset. Like it's a whole
100%.
analytical thinking. But that's totally the next step to being a professional in any walk of life. But it's
You gotta
like,
do the business part.
Yeah.
The show stuff is, you know, what we were saying, Miles Davis, I think it was said, like I play for free, they pay me to travel, and that's the truth, because that's the work. It's like all day for most of the comics I know that are working, and like even if they're represented by big talent agencies and stuff, most of the day is still like communicating, asking for stuff, working towards their goals, which is not sexy. You know, it's not fun. It's not writing jokes. It's not performing. It's not hanging out with your friends and riffing bits. It's like literally sending emails and, you know, doing social media, editing clips, like, you know, researching the new shows, the new clubs, like where you want to go, like tracking your efforts, like all that kind of stuff. It's boring and shitty, and it's like I said, it's homework. Like I hated school, and not because I liked being at school, but I never did very well because I never went home and did my homework. Right. You know, because that was not fun. I had tricks to learn. I had skateboarding to do and like girls to chase around, unsuccessfly, I might add. But you know, I put the hours in.
So do you take all that on yourself? Do you have a manager?
I had a manager. It did. I had a manager. It didn't work out. Yeah. He opened some doors for me, and things worked out. We're still friends. We still talk and stuff. But it was definitely, I was a little bit disillusioned with what a manager would do for you, and turns out you still have to do all of the work, and the manager can like make the phone call for you or whatever. But unless you're like helping them navigate your goals, you know what I mean? They're not gonna, most of the time, at least from the people I've talked to who have also had managers unsuccessfully, it's like they're not gonna be proactive. They have other clients, they have their own lives going on and stuff. So,
and I deal with the film business too. Like you'll have these basically media aggregators. You know, that's what a distributor is. Like I have enough of these indie projects that's all I'm selling is this catalog, and they don't focus on your project. Right. And so here there's some comedians a lot like, well, I've worked with bookers, I've worked with different agencies, and it's like they're pulling a little bit, but there's still so much work on me that's easier for me to just do it. Yeah. Right. Because I know exactly what I want and where to go.
And for them too, it's like they're not making any money off me. Where's their motivation to do anything for me? It's like, because for me it could be life-changing money, and for them it's just their month's pay or whatever. So it's like you have to do some really big things to make a manager even want to, you know what I mean, work with you. But it's like a catch-22 kind of thing, because like if you build your own momentum at that point, you don't even need the manager or the agent as much. Like I think a lot of comics get to a level where they're kind of like so big that the risk of not having management is too high, that they kind of need it because there's a lot more contracts, there's a lot more corporations involved, there's a lot more communication that is legally binding, so that you need liability. So in order to have that, you are almost forced to like work with management. Yeah. Even if you don't want to. But that's like a pretty, you're getting a pretty high level
like, you need someone to help manage. Like it's almost like I'm just getting an office assistant, but they're focused on
it's more of an administrator. Business, right? Yeah.
How'd you guys link up?
Seattle comedy.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm a roller skater. He's a skateboarder. Right. We had a gang war at a park one time.
We won.
I'm having Total Warriors flashbacks. That movie needs to be remade now. Like, were gangs really wearing like baseball uniforms and roller skates?
It's so funny to see gangs dressed like so flamboyantly. I love that movie. But the social media game, we were talking about this before, that's like the job of a comic now. I'm not like treading new ground here, but like comedians are now publicists for themselves. Like you're a media marketer and a publicist. That's like your career as a stand-up. And then you, instead of, it used to be like spending all day like, hitting up bookers and stuff like that and trying to like find work. And now it's more about, it feels like anyway, more about building a fan base, and then you can find your own venues and then sell tickets to your fan base, and it's less about who's going to book you and more about where are you going to book yourself to draw fans. So pros and cons of that, I think, for comedy as a whole is that there's no gatekeepers, which is like great because people who were getting stopped by gatekeepers are now able to break through and have an audience. Like people who've maybe deserved to have an audience for years and were being held back because they don't fit whatever mold or don't have the right relationships with the kind of people you need to make it in show business. Now they can break through. That's fucking awesome. But then you have a lot of people who gatekeepers were stopping for the right reasons, right? who now can break through, who might just be like, one, just like maybe terrible like comedy, terrible people or whatever. But then they can like kind of find a fan base and sell tickets.
They might have like one viral hit, but they only got 5 minutes of material.
And then there's that stuff that happens
now they're getting booked, like, I got to fill a whole show.
And then you get people who aren't ready at all. Yeah, and then gatekeepers used to be able to be able to recognize when someone was ready, right? Or at least that was their job. Whether they were good at it or not is debatable. But at least there was someone, a human being in charge.
Yeah.
Now it's an algorithm that's in charge. Like the algorithm doesn't give a fuck about whether you're ready or not. You know, they're really just about, are people staying on our app longer because you're on screen, you know?
Yeah,
and it's fucking, whether or not you're good at the job that you're doing is irrelevant, you know? So
I had a fortune cookie years ago that I saved that was, you must prepare at length for overnight success. And like, I've held that to like so much of, you know, business, entertainment, all this stuff. It's like, you got to put in the work. So even with like becoming viral or having to like get your social media fan base, like the people I've seen successful have been like, it's still a year or 2 years into having built up that much content that's like, oh wow, they're not just a one-hit wonder. They have a shit ton of material. They're constantly always something fresh.
So, and this is, I mean, you can watch it. There's plenty of examples, but there's people who have lucky breaks and they, you know, whatever, they go on a big tour or something like that. And you never hear about it again.
Right.
People who have lucky breaks and then have continued success after that, that's the people who prepared for it, right? Because they were like, oh, I know what to do. When this happens, I'm gonna do X and Y and Z so that I continue to have success and I can ride the momentum of the lucky break, right? But like, how many people really do that? Like, it's kind of rare, actually. So you see, that's why like the people who are long lasting in this business are few and far between.
Yeah.
It seems, anyway.
That's why I waited 20 years to start my first TikTok. All right, now I'm 20 years in.
Well, so comedians ask me this all the time about like, what should I be doing as a young comic to move the needle, right? To move it forward. Should I be putting all my shit online? And I think, so there's a double-edged sword here with that because I never did any of that stuff. Like I said, I was, again, 15 years of just kind of like, I was doing shows, I was producing shows, I was doing mics, I was on stage enough.
Yeah.
I wasn't chasing bigger shows. I wasn't doing a lot of stuff maybe I should have been doing. Definitely was not working on social media or online. I think somewhat to my detriment, because then when I did get my first lucky break and I was ready, I did not have any of those skills. So I had to learn all of that in real time as like kind of my first opportunities were happening, which I think was like held me back quite a bit. Whereas like if I had already been doing that my entire comedy career, then when I did have that lucky break, it would have been like I would have had a whole system already set up that I could model out, you know, but I had to do that all kind of on the fly, and which I think slowed me down quite a bit. But then again, it goes, if you do all that, then you could get a lucky break way before you're ready. Right. So if you're like putting all your stuff online and doing all your social media, and then you do have a big break and you do get a big crowd, but you don't have anywhere near an hour's worth of material, like, do you start headlining? Like, how do you say no to that? Most comics just say yes to it, right? And then they start touring, and then I think to me, those are the comics who, after a year or two, that you don't really hear about them again because they don't really have an act, you know? And it takes most comics to get a real headlining hour, most comics, 7 to 10 years. Like, really. Like, and that's going up almost every night, you know? Like, I don't think... I was probably well over a decade in before I really had an hour, and a lot of that is because of what I was talking about. I didn't really get up as much, you know. I was a 10-year comic with a 6-year comic's worth of like experience and stage time, you know.
For me, approaching 10 years, like, you know, I've got material, I've got enough time and stuff, but like, like, if any sort of success came earlier, like, it would have been horrible. It would have been like.
And how would you have said no to it?
Right, exactly. And like, especially like with the comics ego of like, oh, someone believes in me. Like, I want, like, oh, they think I can do it, then I can do it. Like, and so it's why I don't really stress about social media and stuff. I really operate under the mentality that I've never made a mistake in my life.
That's a healthy ego.
I make all the right decisions every time because I like where I'm at now, despite everything that's ever transpired before. Like, I'm very content with myself now, so I'm like, I'm doing exactly correct. And so like, if I detest posting stand-up stuff on social media, and like, I don't even like watching other people's stuff. I think it's like detrimental to
the
medium, the art form. It's just like, so like, that's not comedy. Like, you see a 1
But
minute.
even watching it on TV is not, right? Like,
Yeah,
I think it's more removed.
A special
than
is
that.
like its own thing because it's still long
It's a
form.
film.
Yeah,
It's a
it's still
stand-up
long
film,
form.
yeah.
But like a 2 minute clip of like comedian destroys heckler or whatever.
yeah.
It's like, and like I work the door at a club in Seattle, and like those clips have like imprinted on people's minds that like, oh shit, if I sit up front, I'm gonna be destroyed.
Yeah, I don't wanna
and
be in
like
this
I have to
person's
fight
video.
with people to make them sit up front. They think they're in like the splash zone, and like it's gonna be like a nightmare. I'm like, nobody wants to talk to you. I promise, nobody wants to talk to you.
That's one of my hardest challenges with the shows I put on, is just getting people to sit at those front tables.
Yeah, and I think that TikTok and all these clips of like, you know, heckler interactions and stuff. And then on the other side of that, it creates another paradigm where it's telling people who are talentless but attention seeking that,
Yeah.
oh, if I sit up front and I yell something, I'll get some attention. Like,
And it inspires comics that you wouldn't want to do stand-up
Yeah.
Who are just like, oh, this is great. I've been looking for a way to go yell at strangers and be mean to people for no reason.
they kicked me out of the YMCA, a comedy club
Yeah,
where
yeah.
I should go.
And comedy, especially because it's open mic comedy, that's how
Yeah.
everybody starts. It is open. Like, so all of the, you know what I mean, people who've been kicked out of whatever other subcultures, it's the last
I mean, the
bastion.
bar to entry is
they
on
don't
the
like me
floor.
at slam
Like,
poetry.
yeah.
They don't like me at spoken word. They don't like me at the fucking my songs at the musicians open mic. But no one can stop me at the stand-up open mic. You know what I mean? They let everybody up at this thing. Like, I'm a stand-up now. And so we get some of those, and TikTok, social media stand-up has only, snowballed that problem a little bit. I realized when I started posting my stand-up online, and this was like an integrity sacrifice almost to make with my stand-up, to where I was like, I'm not even trying to post good stand-up clips. I have to get out of this mindset that if I'm going to pursue this, I have to stop being so precious with my stand-up and look at it as like, when you're in the room with me, that's my stand-up, right? Like, how you experience this online is just not gonna be it. Like, so I gotta stop trying to force what happens in the room online and go, I don't even wanna make good stand-up clips. I have to make good Instagram content that just happens to be of my stand-up. Like, gotcha. And that's when I was like, fuck it, I'm editing out laughs. It fucks up the timing of the clip. Like, people are gonna tune out if they're watching on silent while I'm holding for laughs, and realizing I'm gonna cut out tags even that are like the best part of the joke because it doesn't make for the good hot Instagram clip or whatever. And like, once I kind of got over that, literally is when the clips started going and firing off and stuff like that. That was that's when I was like, man. And the lifestyle of being on social media though is really, for me anyway, like almost hard to justify, like even for the success.
Yeah.
That's where I keep coming. Anytime I'm like building momentum online, I always get to this point where I'm like, it's working, but my mental health is decreasing and my relationships are getting worse, and like I'm doing stand-up differently because I'm kind of like hoping that clips happen while I'm doing it.
Right,
and
yeah.
I'm kind of not as present because I'm thinking about the clips and like stuff like that. Last night I didn't film, and like it's such a relief because I was for years every single show. I mean, you get into the habit of it where it starts affecting me a lot less. Where I go, did I get a clip tonight or didn't I? And I have to go through the footage and go, oh, there is some stuff that happened. I must have been really present because I wasn't like getting off stage being like, man, I got this one, I got that one. And that's how it feels sometimes. Which it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel healthy for my comedy to be doing comedy for social media clips instead of doing it for the sake of the joke or for how I want to express myself or something. So there became a point where I was like, became habit. It was just something. I set up the camera, I downloaded the footage, I reviewed the clips, I posted them, whatever. And I was just kind of like going through the motions, and it felt like it was not affecting me negatively, unhealthily in the ways that I was describing earlier. But it was like, it's such a short window. And honestly, it was like, now that I'm thinking back on it, I was like, I was on tour while I was, for a lot of this.
So it's part of the routine of just being that.
I didn't have my family around.
Yeah.
Yeah. And honestly, like even doing it, I don't know, because when you're producing your own shows and stuff too, on tour, I'd be producing my own shows, setting up my own cameras, then having to edit all the footage and everything like that. And it was just like unsustainable for one person. It was like, and I know a lot of comics that do this, that are like one-man bands that film all their shit, do all their own social media. Some of them have editors. I kind of envy that.
Yeah.
That must be nice. But for me personally, I was telling Jack about this, like, entrepreneur mind of mine. I come from I did real estate for a long time. My mom is an entrepreneur. So to me, I'm like, if I'm gonna hire someone, I better know exactly how this works myself so that I know what I'm looking for and no one can pull the wool over my eyes and tell me some bullshit that I'm like, that's not how it works, because I've been doing it myself for a few years. And so now I feel like I've been living at the factory for the last year or two, and I'm like, all right, like I know how this works. I kind of know what it needs. I know how my personal algorithm is working or whatever. So I could potentially hire someone now, but whatever, $20 a clip plus I know people who bring an opener to do it. Like their opener films them and edits all the clips. So they get paid as an opener and they pretty much do the other stuff either pro bono or for a very low amount for the opportunity.
Gotcha.
And then you can find someone like that, I guess, is an option. Or you have to hire it. So you have to be making quite a bit of money. You know what I mean? To like,
it becomes a lot of work.
But this is the game now, though. This is the game now. This is why it sucks, because like comedy now turns into this conversation.
Right.
Instead of talking, I mean, I guess this is just like being in it for a lot longer, but if I romanticize like that first 5 years of comedy so much because all you talked about in comedy were jokes.
Right.
When you hung out with comics, it was all working on bits, trying to get funnier, and now it's trying to get famous. And it feels like so shallow and gross.
I think there's a place where you gotta, if you want to make a living at it and be professional, though, you've got to have a marketing edge and understand the business side of it.
Well, once it starts to be more important than the act and the jokes, I've just recognized it in myself. Where, like I was saying earlier, you start to be able to acknowledge, like, oh, this is going good, but then my other parts of my life, which are, unarguably more important, you know what I mean? My mental health and my relationships with my family, like, that's just like a net negative on my life, where it's like, I could see how people justified a lot easier, like, I guess, like maybe single or whatever, and no families and stuff, because there's nothing to juxtapose it against, and your own mental health is almost like riding on how good your career is doing, so you're only as healthy as how good your career is, which I think is probably not a good life. But
I feel like
it's the one
really
we all
directly to my soul right now.
It's the one we all signed up for. Well, I don't know. Like, isn't this like kind of like I'm talking about like Buddhism now? No, this isn't Buddhism. That looks like a demon.
Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember him having a dick in Indiana Jones, but I think he's giving birth, or she's giving birth. Too. Yeah, it's got titties.
Anyways,
She's giving birth.
What was I saying? So I got distracted. Oh, but it's like you got to take. It's like you put your mask on first in the airplane or something. It's like you got to know how to be happy, just you. Otherwise, your art is it takes sacrifices, and your lifestyle you have to make sacrifices. Versus like if you can just like be happy, then like no matter what happens.
That's why I'm not chasing social media. Like I keep getting better at comedy, doors keep opening, and I'm not doing that stuff. And like, I don't want to do that stuff. And like,
the old school way still works.
Yeah.
Build relationships, get good, let word of mouth, like do the work for you. Like it is still an option.
I sold my soul to Satan a long time ago, so I know
to this business.
I know I'm on the right path. Just whatever the timeline is that it happens, it happens. Like I'll be ready when I'm ready. A wizard is never late,
Yeah, and you're content now.
I'm content.
I think that's so important, because when I quit comedy and I came back, I was like so much easier to pursue because I quit. So I was like, anything that happens is so remarkably great because I had fully emotionally said goodbye to this, and it was like, when I did open mics at the Underground, coming from New York where all the even the good shows are bad, like I was like, there's 100 people at this open mic and it's a hot crowd. I was like, even just doing this show once a month, not pursuing comedy at all, is almost like a better lifestyle than I lived, and then when I started being able to like feature weekends and stuff like that, coming from a time, one, where I quit stand-up comedy, and two, where I was coming from New York where the shows were just so hard to do, that the stage time was this great, I was like, man, I could drive Uber Eats and do this for the rest of my life and be pretty content.
Right.
You tell yourself that in the moment, but then snap to like 3 or 4 years of doing it, and then also it's watching people who you never thought were good and find like massive success. Do you go, what the fuck am I doing? Like, what do I have to do? Is it social media? I guess I'm fucking doing social media because I'm gonna not keep just doing this one open mic and driving for Uber Eats for the rest of my life.
But you also have to keep in mind that like social media is the best parts of people's lives, and like what's going on behind all of these clips and everything is like, are they neurotic? Are they insane right now? Are they freaking out because their clip only got 4,000 views instead of 10? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that. I don't need that stress. Like,
well, so this goes back to what I was saying though. It's like, it's learning how to do that and then not attached to it. And then I go on breaks because I can recognize it, where I'm like, it's happening again.
You're only drinking at weddings.
Let me back up. Yeah, not drinking at weddings. Yeah. So I'm still figuring it out. Like, but I'm definitely have recognized where the lines are, where I have to be like, okay, like this is where you have to not take it personally, or you're taking it too personally. You have to pull back. And to be able to maintain the other parts of your life. Not taking it personally is like... It's impossible. No, see, I think... I don't take it personally. Like, I went to... social media? Or just anything. It's just like... You're autistic. Yeah. And I went to art school where, like, you go through critiques and, like, they are, like, fucking brutal on your work. And you're just... They're not commenting on you as a person. They're saying that your handle on your cup sucks. Like, and so I'm like, there's obviously ego attached to comedy, of course, but like, it's removed. Like, I don't take it personally. Like whatever happens, it's like probably not about me at all.
And that's the best way to be. I think so many comedians are so afraid of bombing. If I've already lost them, the rest of the show is just for me. They're not gonna beat you up. My time, like, and I can do whatever now, and it's like it's liberating. Like, well, and then sometimes you'll win them back.
Right, like, that freeness will get them back. Yeah. What do you think about the future where like VR comedy clubs might start popping up? I don't think so. It's an in-person experience. Okay. It's just not the same. Really the medium is live in the room. That's why I think it'll be around forever too. I don't think AI, I don't think anything could ever replace live music, stand-up comedy, like the live human experience of watching another human being express themselves and get a reaction from a crowd. That is primal. A robot will never be able to come close.
Look at how big movies are, and like that didn't kill theater at Broadway.
No, but it's not. Yeah, the vertical stand-up watching. It brings people to the room, like I think it's net positive stuff, because it's like I don't like that that's how people are introduced to comedy, but then I think of it as like that's actually not how they're introduced to comedy. That's just how they hear about it and find out it exists and like get a somewhat of a taste of it, but when they go to the room, that's their experience. That's them experiencing.
It's such a social thing. That's why it's like getting those people at the front tables, like a small show, like that's an intimate show, but you're connected. If you have an empty room and people sitting in that corner and over there, your material might be killer, but they're not with you. There's too much. They're too far removed that you're like, you're fishing. You're trying to throw your joke and like reel them in from there. And it doesn't spread, but it's communal where you got to group together. Like,
laughter's contagious, and the less space you have between people, the faster the disease will spread. Laughter is a lot like COVID. Yeah. You got to get people close together.
Right.
And it came from China.
Stuff.
I forget what I was saying. My friend Charlie's this comic. When he first started, he said the most fear he'd ever had was, what if they don't like me? Like, what if I bomb? Like, I'll want to feel like the world will end when I get off stage if something like that happened. And then he went up for the first time, bombed, got off stage, and they just brought up the next comic. And he was like, nothing happened. Right. He's like, he felt like undefeatable. He felt like so powerful because the greatest fear, what the worst possible scenario that could have happened. And he got off stage and everyone just like treated him normal. You know what I mean? Like it just like life went on like as if it had never happened. You know?
Unless you bomb in like some just insane way, like I don't even know, but just like something horrible happens and you're bombing, no one's gonna even remember. Like no one's gonna think about it. No one's leaving the club and be like, what about that loser?
Yeah, the world doesn't end. And that's the same thing with social media and stuff like that. Once you like start putting, oh my God, this is what people are gonna think, and da da da, and you start getting over that, it becomes just like open mic or whatever. Where you're like, oh, it's just part of my routine now. I just go to the show, I just post the thing, like.
And I think there's something too, where social media, there's so much content, it's easily forgettable. Where you'll have someone that'll have seen you 20 years ago and be like, hey, that one joke. Really, I still think about it every time this happens.
That's always such a compliment when someone's like, "Oh, dude, I saw you," and like that joke. Like every time I hear this or I think of that, like.
What did you guys think of the show last night?
It's fun.
It was great.
I had a great
It was
time.
really fun.
Talent Club, Talent Oregon.
Yeah, it's hard to keep the bar quiet.
It is. That's the challenge because you'll have a couple people that are regulars there and they're not there for comedy.
100%.
And usually you'll funnel them outside because there's outside seating now, and the weather was great last night. I kept trying to be like, can you just get them outside? Or just quiet them down if they're not part of the show. And that's what, bar shows are really tricky for that.
I saw you taking tickets at the door. These people were like, "Ooh, $10. Oh, okay. Venmo, credit card. No, you gotta go to the ATM.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get the cash. Okay." And then come out with the cash and they give you buy the tickets. And then someone's like, "I'm just here to gamble." And you're like, "Right on in." And they were standing there like, "Could we have just said we're here to gamble?"
No, they totally could have. I was like, just shut the machine to quiet. Like,
Yeah. But those people came in. I don't know if you charged them or not.
Yeah.
You did?
Oh, they paid twice because their buddy showed up. Was like, I got
good,
tickets for
good.
my friends inside already. I was like,
Good.
One of you needs a
because
refund.
there was that person that was like sitting down to gamble, and then they were just like, "I'll just be watching the show for the next hour." And like they didn't fucking play one game.
Well, and there was one girl in there that was there to gamble, and I was like, "Are you here for the show?" She's like, "Oh, well, maybe I'll stick around." And then like 50 minutes later, some dude was all hitting on her, and he's like, "I was like, you here for the show?" He's like, "Oh yeah," and so he paid for both of them.
It's like I don't know what happened, but like a bunch of people got up, and I was like, I think I'm doing well, but I feel like half the crowd is gone.
Dude,
Do you remember that?
There was a table of 3 ladies.
They like everyone got up to like get a drink or use the bathroom kind of at the same time or whatever.
But maybe it was just past their bedtime. Maybe they were just
know.
like, "Oh, we're tired. We've been." Yeah.
It is, yeah, that is true. Sometimes I always wonder that, and I ask people, and they're like, "I gotta go pick my kids up. They just called me. They're fucking dying in the hospital." They're like, "Oh, please go."
Yeah. But then there was a group that came from the theater later, and I was like, "Oh, just get up there and sit in first." And
Yeah,
I was like,
it
"He's
was
got
a
10
great
minutes
show.
left. Just go enjoy it." And then you did like another 20 minutes or something. But
I think I did a full hour last night.
Yeah.
That's okay, right?
if the crowd's with you, like, have fun with it. That's the nice thing about
As long as the
spots like that.
booker's good. I mean, I just, I get pretty, I don't know, I just love stage time.
Yeah.
So, like, I want to end strong. I want to run through it. And as long as the booker's good at it and the audience is in, like, I'll just keep going.
I don't like it to be so structured that it's like that takes precedence over having a good time. Because it's really about the comedians have to enjoy it and the audience has to enjoy it, and that's
Yeah.
it. That's what makes it magic.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys. I hope you have
thanks,
fun the
bro.
rest of this weekend.